Starfleet Academy offered cadets every opportunity to improve upon their skills and learn their interests, offering many lessons, training scenarios, and rewarding excellence with further opportunity. For those for whom piloting was a desire, Nova Squadron was one of the most coveted positions. The squadron had members appointed through the recommendation of the Academy staff, and only drew from the highest performing cadets with aptitude for flight. They were expected to perform displays during events and celebrations, and cadets within Nova Squadron were taught advanced piloting maneuvers and techniques that went beyond standard usage, even for skilled pilots, and according to Apocrypha, they've existed since at least 2283. If it predated that, then I wonder if Erica Ortega was a member. Her flying certainly fits the bill. Most of the techniques covered were for small craft at impulse speeds and formation flying, things that did not serve particularly well for starship flight. Nonetheless, it was a testament to the skill of those selected that they could outfly any other cadet at the Academy. Such flying seldom comes into play in the day-to-day of Starfleet's operation, but when it does, it is usually of vital importance. Having successfully completed your time at the Academy, and being a noted member of Nova Squadron, was a high honour, and many cadets from this position would go on to secure bright futures, in theory. The earliest known members mentioned are a Kenneth Sapp in 2283, then the infamous team composition of 2368. Following this, Nova Squadron is said to have continued on, although its legacy no doubt tainted by the events of that year. In 2371, Cadet Sarita Carson graduated in the 91st percentile, and within a year was serving as an ensign and comm officer of the USS Defiant. Such a vessel was small and compact enough for her Nova Squadron style flying to be of use, a niche position, but one suited for such a graduate. As for the composition of the 2368 team, it consisted of Nicholas Locarno, Sito Jaxa, Wesley Crusher, Jean Hajar, and Joshua Albert. Starting with the unfortunate Josh Albert. He was killed during an accident over Titan when Nick Locarno pressured Nova Squadron into performing a dangerous but spectacular manoeuvre called the Kolvoord Starburst. The move involved starting in a close circular formation before coming within 10 metres of the other vessels, crossing paths and venting plasma coolant. Then that plasma was deliberately ignited, and all 5 ships flew apart, creating the image of a 5-pointed star. This is risky, not only for the potential collisions, but the danger of igniting your own trail in such proximity. It was this move that resulted in the loss of all 5 ships and Joshua's life as he failed to escape via emergency transporter. What compounded the issue was not just the attempt at the illegal move, but the following cover-up and lying from all involved to the inquiry. Third-year cadet Jean Hajar was the team's navigator and received a formal reprimand, and her academic credits over the last year were cancelled. She had to redo a year. Wesley Crusher received the same punishment, a stigma that would follow him and cloud his future. It ate away at him, and the issue was never forgotten by him or his peers. In 2370 he resigned from Starfleet Academy to follow the Traveller. However, it seems that in 2379 he had returned to Starfleet to at least complete his training and graduate before stepping away once more to become involved in the actions of the Travellers to protect the timeline through the supervision of key figures in history. I need to do a personnel file on him at some point. As for the last 2 members, Nick Locarno was the only member to be expelled on the spot, taking the rap for his classmates as the leader and the one who pushed for the Kolvoord Starburst and cover-up. Following this, he moved to New Axton and spent the next 13 years as a civilian pilot, where he began developing a new scheme to create his own Nova fleet, utilising the Starburst as his insignia. His comrades consisted of ambitious lower deck members that mutinied on their commanders from various non-Starfleet organisations, stranding those command officers on Chervil 5. Sito Jaxa, however, stuck with her Starfleet career, enduring the same ridicule as Wesley Crusher until she graduated in 2370. She was assigned out of the Academy to the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D, one of the most prestigious postings at the request of Captain Picard, who noted her determination to succeed and redeem herself. At the end of the day, Picard always pushed people to be the best version of themselves, and he saw the sincerity in her efforts to improve. Sito, however, was recruited for a mission to allow a Cardassian defector, Joret Dal, to return without suspicion to Cardassia. This mission would be her last, as she was detected escaping the ruse and killed in action. The events of Nova Squadron and the following TNG episode Lower Decks through Sito would go on to shape events within Starfleet and, on a narrative level, Star Trek. Lower Decks went on to be a touchstone to the series of the same name, and the decision was made to tie one of the cast back to this pivotal episode, that of Beckett Mariner. I could do a whole video on Mariner's issues, but at the core of it, the decision to make her a friend of Sito Jaxa was a good one. Not only does it pay homage to the origins of the Lower Decks setting itself, it paints Mariner in an understandable light. She lost a friend in the line of duty, then the Dominion War broke out soon after, and a freshly graduated Mariner found herself acting more as a soldier than explorer. That had an effect on her, and honestly, many in Starfleet. The Dominion War messed up the priorities for an entire generation of cadets, and left traumas baked into the Federation itself. But enough on that tangent. Nova Squadron would not be the only such cadet division within Starfleet to receive special treatment. With their fame tainted, Red Squadron was the new hotness, and trained aboard a state-of-the-art Defiant class, the USS Valiant, for operations in theatres of warfare, a reflection of the current priorities of Starfleet in the late 24th century, and one that would earn its own brand of infamy. I guess it just goes to show that if you start telling a group of impressionable youths that they are superior to their peers too much, then ambition grows in concordance. Still, people make bad calls, overestimate their abilities, and make mistakes all the time, and those repercussions shape lives. I've been Rick. Thanks for watching this breakdown on the history of Nova Squadron. It was not always the sore talking point for the Academy that it became, and maybe one day it can return to that status it previously had. Nova Squadron members generally wore it as a badge of honour, and even with the events of 2368 tainting that, it was still a testament to the aptitude and ability of those selected for the squadron. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.